This is CyberSound, your simplified and fundamentals-focused source for all things cybersecurity.
So I'm used to talking to you, Mike, about CyberSound topics.
Yeah.
Usually pretty serious ones. But we were chatting, and we know Valentine's Day is coming up.
Fast and furious.
Fast and furious.
Yep.
And I'm not the best planner, but so I want to start thinking ahead a little bit. And I want to get my wife a surprise, but I don't want her to know about it. So, but everything we do is online.
Right. Trackable.
Trackable. We got shared credit cards.
Okay.
And obviously we live in the same house. So how do I go about this? Like, what's my first step for trying to keep our plan secret?
Well, the first step is, we've got to figure out what she wants. So you've got to have the gift idea, right, before we can figure out our plan. So should we just assume there's been overtures, it's been made clear?
Right, so because we do talk.
You talk.
So hopefully she told me something.
So maybe she said, hey, this would be a nice idea, or, maybe Cupid can bring this by at some point.
Right, but so I have the sneaking suspicion you're thinking, take a look at the computer.
Well, I'm thinking, yeah, exactly that. Because if you're lucky enough to be, in a great communicating relationship and very open with, hey, this would be great, I would like this, maybe we can exchange gifts and this is what I have in mind, that's very helpful. But sometimes you just don't have all that information and you've got to do a little reconnaissance.
So what are you suggesting?
Well, we're certainly not advocating any violations of privacy, but, same home, shared assets, and understanding that there's going to be information potentially available. Maybe you've got some search history to understand. Maybe there's some frequent ads that the algorithms are throwing off on social media. Maybe you're seeing or hearing the same commercial. If you've got, one of these connected home, Alexa or Google Home type things going on, and you're listening to your favorite Pandora station and the same ad keeps coming on, who knows? But it's being personalized somehow. So the idea is there are little cookie crumbs somewhere that are being left. So let's move past that.
Yeah, that's a little nefarious, right?
This slightly, but we have to make these assumptions. And so now we've got a gift idea. Now how do we execute without getting caught?
Well, so actually I guess that's fair, right? So now we know. And
we know.
So I've decided what I'm buying.
Okay.
Okay, and I think I've decided where we're going, right? So we'll start with the buy-in part.
Okay.
You're suggesting, I think, open it up, your favorite browser, probably go into incognito mode.
Okay.
Right? And trying to at least purchase in sort of that browser tab that you think is private.
Yeah. I think the first assumption has to be that whatever potential thought or activity that you may have employed to get the gift idea could be, turnaround is fair play, right? So you have to expect that may come your way. So you have to be very secretive with your activities here. So yes, incognito mode for sure, making sure you're not being tracked to the best that you can. But, does incognito mode guarantee your privacy? There's some steps that would say maybe the ISP knows, but they're not going to ruin the surprise.
No, right. I mean, she'd have to make a formal legal request for that data. So that's going a step further than I think we're going to have.
So now you're in incognito mode. You've done your search. You're on the website. How do you pay?
Yeah, I mean, you can't log in
Okay.
because the minute you log in, you're now the site
Cover's
at least
blown.
knows, right? Cover's blown.
So, you've got a credit card.
Yep.
All right. You've been using the credit card pretty actively for the last, number of years, maybe a few trips.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had the same one for 20 years probably.
But you got some points accrued.
Yeah.
Well, what about getting a gift card using some of those points? No transaction takes place.
Okay.
Right? You might have to watch the mail for it ahead of time, or maybe it's an e-gift card. It gets emailed direct to you, so you've got your code, right? So now you've got your payment mechanism in place.
Right, because we know you're probably not walking around with cash.
Probably not walking around with cash.
And you're probably doing something with like an retailer, right?
And you're probably not going to the store, obviously. Going to the store, old school, who knows? There could be, all sorts of experiences going to the old bricks and mortar. I'm an advocate of bricks and mortar, but
But people don't go.
They don't want to go. They
Yep.
want to stay in their house and do all their activities. So, all right. So now we've got a gift card, an e-gift card, even
Yep.
better.
That you purchase from somewhere.
Purchase from somewhere.
Yep.
Now you've got your financial means. You've got your idea. You've got the website. You're using your incognito mode.
So what website though? So I can't go to Amazon because we share our account there.
Yeah.
So now I have to try to find some place that it's unlikely that anybody else is going to visit. Right?
Yeah, this could take a few dark turns here. So I'm trying to figure out exactly how we can navigate to the right place. We have to make a few assumptions that maybe what you're looking for, yes, it might be sold on Amazon, but maybe it's available from another
Walmart
website that
or
doesn't
something.
need.
Right.
You can complete your transaction as a guest, right?
Okay.
You don't need to enter all your personal information. They will need to know. Well, they'll actually need to know a lot of your personal information, but it doesn't necessarily need to be stored. And perhaps you can have it mailed somewhere else. I assume it's a tangible gift.
Yep. So I think you have to do that.
Right.
Otherwise, now because you've just got to come into the house. I know that
In the onslaught of all the other boxes, will it just get mixed in?
not in our house. Like
Okay.
they just get opened
All right.
for the most part. So there's no like, hey, it's addressed to Jason. I'm going to leave that be. Right.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that they just made a mistake and threw my name on there and sent it anyway. So yeah, I think it has to go somewhere else.
So now you've got it shipped somewhere else. You've used a secure but not trackable means of payment. You did your search under the auspices of incognito mode. I think you've checked all the boxes now. Now you've got this delivery coming. You've got to be prepared for it. And then the hardest part is, do you do your own wrapping?
Oof.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is where the wheels could really fall off.
yeah.
here.
That right there, I'm discouraged from buying a present to begin with.
Yeah.
So I want somebody else to wrap
Making a late night run to CVS and buying whatever pre-made gift bag they have and throwing some paper in. I'm not saying I've done this, but maybe I have.
Yeah.
And then magically on the 14th morning,
Present arrives.
The present sitting there ready. The thought has gone into it. All of the effort has been made, and no one is the wiser.
So I'm listening to this, and I find myself thinking two things. One, boy, buying a gift is a lot of darn work.
A lot of work.
Right? So I'm not, but then I also think all the conveniences of doing it online, we basically threw out the window because we had to figure out how to get our payment method.
Yeah.
That was a pain.
We had
right?
to search.
Yeah, do all the searching.
Yeah.
And in a secret way, which is just generally more
and
work.
potentially do some spying to get to the search.
Yeah.
Not advocating again,
yeah,
but
yeah.
just saying we had to get
You
the
had to
idea.
get info.
We had to
right?
get the info.
Yeah. And it had to be shipped somewhere. So now you're probably driving to get a gift card. You're probably driving to go pick the gift up. I wonder if it's just simpler to go to a store and buy it directly there anyway.
I think that's the lesson here.
And then nobody
Yeah.
really knows what's happening.
Nobody
anyway.
knows.
Uh,
Find some of those, the greenbacks and put them to work and keep our currency in circulation.
So we do, right? So you simply pay in cash at a brick and mortar,
Yeah.
and you take one trip.
You take one trip and you've got your gift, and you keep the local economy strong. You shop small, perhaps if you can, and they'll even do the wrapping for you.
So it seems to me like this is January 11th.
Sure.
So I've got a month to actually ask a couple of questions to figure out what the gift is too.
That's right.
Which is probably actually strengthening communication. So
do a little data mining of your own.
yeah, I could take technology out of this altogether if I really wanted to.
Yeah. And when in doubt, chocolate and flowers.
When in doubt, chocolate and flowers. Fair enough.
Good.
All right. So hopefully people get some utility out of that.
Yeah.
If nothing else, right, they recognize incognito is probably not that secure. And this whole process is a lot of darn work and just go to the store.
It's probably the best way to go.
Fair enough.
With all this technology that we have. Yeah.
All right.
Very
Thanks, Mike.
good. All right. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
We'd love to hear your feedback. Feel free to get in touch at Vancord on LinkedIn. And remember, stay vigilant, stay resilient. This has been CyberSound.